Welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and starting out today's show I have Kay Ward from the City Schools, and we're talking Reading Buddies. This is one of my favorite programs to talk about, and I know it's one of yours.
Absolutely.
Tell us, for those of you who don't know what Reading Buddies is, what we're talking about.
The Reading Buddies program began during the 2013-2014 school year at Anderson Elementary School, and it was a program that was designed to be a classroom support of instruction for our boys and girls kindergarten, first and second grade, with the goal being that all our children would enter third grade as on-grade level readers.
And it's really taken off.
It has.
So tell me about the growth over the last few years.
We began in kindergarten at Anderson with 17 volunteers and 17 kindergarten students. We have expanded the program one grade level at a time and one school at a time. At this time, we have kindergarten through second grade served at Anderson, kindergarten through second grade at Fairmount, K2 at Avoca, and this year we are adding Holston View Kindergarten. So the program continues to expand. We started with 17 volunteers and 17 students in the very beginning. We ended last year with 121 students being mentored by 101 volunteers. So it certainly has grown.
I know, it's kind of jaw-dropping really, but you know, reading is just the key to everything in school. So I love this program, and I know we're always looking for new volunteers, and the volunteers really are amazing, and some of them do it 1 year, or for just a little while, and others kind of stick with it.
Right. The goal of the program is not for our volunteers to teach reading for us. We feel like we hire the brightest and the best for that. We just need folks to come in and be that support, be the cheerleader for education is important, and reading is very important.
When does the program start during the school year?
We began recruiting volunteers really all through the summer. We never stop. Our first week of putting volunteers into schools will be the week of September 23rd. And there are some guidelines for the program. First and foremost, you need to enjoy working with children. You need to be able to pass a TBI approved background check, and that is at the expense of the school system. And you need to be able to commit 30 minutes, the same 30 minutes on the same day of the week, one time a week, to meet with your reading buddy.
So if you are interested in volunteering, how do they get in contact?
They can go to our website, readingbuddiesbristol.org, or they can go to our BTCS website, to our the Connection tab, and all my information is there. I can be reached by phone and by email as well.
Oh, fantastic, Kay. Thank you so much for this program and for growing it the way you have, and of course thanks to all the volunteers.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just amazing. So
thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and I have Kevin Flannery with me today. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Sheridan, for having me.
And this is always an interesting topic, the census, and you need to tell us a little bit about how we gather information in this area. And then I know this is something everybody in the audience is going to want to hear, and that is that there are jobs available. Yeah. So we've got a couple of things we need to talk about today. So tell us a little bit about the census and gathering information in this area.
Okay, well, census has been done every 10 years. The decennial census has since 1790. And it's a very good way to get a snapshot of that point in time of the United States, not just population, other things as well, you know, based on different communities, states, tribes, if you will. There's a lot of different areas that we look at Now, my job, I'm a partnership specialist. So a lot of people picture, oh, the census, when you say you work there, they think, oh, do you go door to door? No, the census is not like that anymore. I'll go ahead and quell that rumor or that myth. Or
Nobody's going door to door, seeing how many people live in a household.
Yeah, exactly. So there will be times when enumerators would need to come to a door to verify some information, but it's not like it used to be. A few things about it. It's going to be April 1st, 2020, which seems like a long ways away, but we started over a year ago. So the census is really underway for us, all the operation side of it. It's going to be three things. It's going to be easy, it's going to be secure, and important. So one thing about, we'll talk about easy. There's going to be three ways people can participate in the census now. One of them, the way they'll receive it will be instructions in the mail, and you'll have three options. You can complete it and mail it back in. You can go online and complete it, or you can do it over the phone. Oh, wow. So as technology progresses, of course, we want things to be easier as well. So it's going to be very easy. When I talk about it being secure, everything is confidential. And it'll just be statistical data. Okay. There's not going to be names released and stuff like that until after 72 years. Okay. So people who are confused about that a little, maybe, if some people are in a genealogy or go on Ancestry.com or any of these type of sites or search engines, if they go on there, they may not be able to find stuff in the last 72 years, and that's why, because used to the anticipated lifespan was 72 years. It may go up, so that gap may go up. So one thing about that, so the 1940 census was the most recently released personal data, and that's people's names. It's not very personal when I say that, it's names. So the next one will be 2022, the 1950 will be released, other than the statistical data that we get right away. And I think that would be interesting to people if you look at the difference between 1940 and 1950 because of World War II. Right. So I don't know, I tell that to a lot of people, and they kind of find more interest in it that way. But as far as it being important, it's very important because of the federal funding that's involved with this. So $675 billion is dispersed, I'll say from the federal government, but you got to remember a lot of that money was paid from the states, from individuals, through taxes and other ways. And it's to get some of that money back, actually. So the higher participation rate we have means more funding comes back to Tennessee and Virginia. Any area. So we look at, when we say a complete count is what we're looking for, we are looking for every possible person who lives in a community to participate. Our lowest counted area is 0 to 5 years old, or as far as age group is 0 to 5 years old. There's several different reasons for that. Maybe there's a custody issue, or the child lives with the grandparents. They don't know if they should fill it out for them and stuff, but we're really trying to focus on that a lot. That's one of our areas of concern. And $17.2 billion, roughly, was the most recent data found that came to Tennessee based on the results. Now, it's broken down. You can find out on it of every department that got what throughout the state. And it's amazing when you look at it, the millions that go into different...
so we all need to participate in this, absolutely, okay.
And so my job is to go out and meet with local leaders as far as our county mayors, city mayors, executives, school boards. We meet with community organizations, faith-based organizations, and we are really trying to build a strong group of people. We call them complete count committees in each area. We want a complete count committee of people who are trusted in, not just name recognition, but people who are trusted in their areas to get the word out about how important this is. And it is, it's very important. When I mentioned the secure part of it, we are sworn an oath for life that we cannot share any information, personal information. And trust me, the penalty is like 5 years in prison, $350,000 fine. So we take that very serious, and we are not going to jeopardize anything for something like that, because it's really, a lot of it's just not that big a deal, as far as to us, you know, we're looking for the statistical data because we want to see people in your community, you know, in Bristol. Let's look at roads, schools, well, education, even higher education, as far as federal Pell Grants, things like that, water infrastructure, things like that are huge, and healthcare. So, you know, we really want a high participation route.
So tell me about the jobs in the region.
There's several different jobs. I mean, my job is partnership specialist. I work mostly with local leaders, things like that. There's other jobs such as recruiters, address canvassing positions, enumerators, group quarters. There's a wide variety. You can go on census.gov and you can find all the information there on the census or on jobs. But the jobs are really growing right now. Address canvassing started about a month ago. It's going to go about another month. So there will be people out verifying some addresses and things like that. They're already doing it here. But they are still hiring a lot for Bristol and Sullivan County, this whole area. So they really need to go on there and apply. And we're looking forward to a good, strong workforce and definitely a complete count.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being on today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I have Fire Robin with me today from Friends of Steele Creek. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
And he has a couple of exciting events coming up. Maybe we'll talk about the first one coming up in September.
Yes, right now we have 2 photography exhibits at the Nature Center. One of them is on native wildflowers. Marty Silver, who many people know, naturalist from Warriors Path State Park, is actually quite an accomplished photographer as well. And he has a set of photographs that are on display. And then one of our board members, Sonny Shermer, who is a wonderful amateur photographer, has a show of all photographs that were taken at the park. Those are up through September. Next Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, the 2 of them, Marty and Sonny, will be at the Nature Center talking about their photographs and their interest in photography and a little bit about the subjects of the photos that they've taken. So that should be a fun opportunity for people who are interested in photography.
Absolutely, and if you haven't been out to see the Nature Center, this is a great time to do it.
It's a wonderful experience for sure.
And then calling all photographers, there is a contest coming up.
Yes. Every year we help sponsor a wildlife weekend at Steele Creek Park, and hopefully Jeremy Stout will be on another edition of this in a few weeks, talking about the schedule of events for that. Okay. But one of the things that we do every year, this is the 13th year now, is to have an amateur photography contest. The only stipulations are the photos have to be taken within the confines of Steele Creek Park, and they should be focused on the natural aspects of the park. We're trying to promote the natural features of the park. So it could be flowers, it could be animals, it could be scenery, just anything that demonstrates the awesome nature of the park. We're accepting photographs now. It's all digital, so the instructions are available online on our website. And the photographs are to be emailed to us. There's an application form and a small application fee of $10, which is sufficient for 10 photographs.
Oh, great. And so you can apply for that now, and when does that close?
Submission deadline is October 1st, midnight. Okay. October 1st. All photographs, entry fees, and applications have to be in by that date. To be in the contest and in the show. All of the photographs will be on display during Wildlife Weekend, which is October 11th and 12th at the Nature Center.
Great, that's exciting. So even if you're not a photographer and you still want to check out some amazing shots of Steele Creek, that is a great weekend to go. Yep. Just a lot of fun activities. It's great because we really do use our park all year round, don't we?
We do, and the staff there at the Nature Center is is always interested in explaining things, teaching, doing programs. Wonderful folks to explain what's going on at the Nature Center.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for being on and telling us about both of those things. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I have Officer Nathan Green with me today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And for telling us all about the Citizens Police Academy.
Yep, that time of year again.
It is. Tell us about the academy and what it involves.
Well, this one's our fall one. We do one in the spring, we do one in the fall. This one's a little cooler to be outside when we do the things outside, but it's again, it's really just an overview of what we do here at the police department. Participants do a ride-along. They actually do 2 ride-alongs, 12 hours each, on patrol to kind of get a feel of what kind of calls we answer in the city. But in addition to that, we have 9 individual class nights with 1 day on the range also, where we go and shoot a lot of the weapons we carry here at the police department, and then a graduation at the end. So it makes the total 10 weeks. So it'll be starting October 14th and graduation will be December 17th. But during that time, CID comes and talks to them, SWAT, EOD, patrol, do traffic stop stuff. I mean, what we do on a traffic stop and how we, why we do certain things on a traffic stop. A lot of times people wonder why we say they were speeding on Virginia Avenue. We don't stop them to, we get to Highway 394 or something, and it's because you run a tag and stuff like that. They find out why we do certain things, stuff like that. We do firearms training simulator that we have, so they're put through some scenarios like if they were actual police officers, and kind of see why you have to react a certain way, and it's a good learning experience. So.
I know it's a really popular program.
It is.
And you've done a really good job with it. Yeah. What, if they're interested in applying or trying to get one of those coveted spots, what do they need to do?
Just fill the application out online. They come directly to me. Just go to our website, bristoltn.org, and it's on the front page. It's just a Citizens Police Academy application. Fill it out, and they get reviewed, and I give them a phone call to let them know that very few people are turned down. We limit it to 20 people, but it's always, we will try to fit everybody in, and there's really no deadline up till the first night will be, like I said, October 14th at 7 here at the Slater, but up until almost day of, they can still turn in an application. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And there's a $50 fee for processing and stuff like that, and administrative fee, but they don't pay that until after they're in and during the 9-week program. That's not something they turn in first or anything. Okay. It doesn't have to be turned in before they come, in other words. So.
That's great. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for telling us all about this. Make sure
so.
to get your application in.
Yep.
This is definitely kind of a favorite program
Yeah.
that you all offer, and I know a lot of people just really love doing it. So.
Yeah, it's always enjoyable. I think everybody says it is anyway. So. Thanks.
So get that in.
Yep.
And thank you for watching today. We'll see you next time.